We have just arrived in Atapu. This has been a huge day on the bikes. We have done 7 hours, 300 kilometers.
Some of it was our fault. We had a slight navigational problem and ended up following the truck route instead of the shorter and more scenic route through the southern part of the Balaban Plateau. So we probably added, I don't know, 70 or 80 k's, at least an hour and a half, our own fault. But we'll just call ourselves Muppets and move on.
So it feels to me like we've gone this way around the mountains instead of that way.
But we definitely have. I mean, the turn off to go the other way was like 70 miles back.
This is going to be our last night in Laos. We're going to cross the border back into Vietnam tomorrow. It's been an incredible 7 weeks. We're just going to go and check out what looks like a pretty big market in Atapu to find our last meal.
If the name Atapu sounds familiar, you may have heard of it about a month ago when a dam that was being built collapsed during the flood and tragically people lost their lives. We asked around in the towns a few hours outside of here if we should visit or if we should stay clear of the area, and they were very encouraging of us to come here. They wanted more tourists to bring in more dollars and help the city get back on its feet. So this is a great stop for us on the way to the border of Vietnam, and we're going through Bai Wo crossing tomorrow.
I think this will be the last market video we film in Laos, and it's a really lively market here in Atapu. What we've decided to do is heaps of food, even at 5:30 at night. So what we've decided to do is we're going to make a little picnic. We're trying to get rid of the last of our money. Kel's buying some things, I'm buying some things. But I'm really just enjoying strolling this market. You can see behind me, it's really lively. Even some music playing. Really social kind of atmosphere. It is such a lovely evening. We're just leaving the Atapu market and it's really nice in there, so we're probably going to go back tomorrow.
We found some great things to start our dinner off, and on the way home there's a few more stalls we'll stop at to pick up some extra bits to make the perfect picnic.
Yes, we are having a great day on the road.
Our last night in Laos, we decided to have a traditional pot dinner. What that means is you go to the side of the road and find a lady with about a dozen pots and pick what you want, and they put them into little plastic bags and you take them home. So tonight we have a red curry that has pork and eggplants. We have a veggie stir fry with a little bit of pork and a big bag of sticky rice. All of this was 20,000 kip, which is about $3. Of course, we also saw a snack stand, so couldn't help ourselves. We start off on the left with little pancakes, which have fried pancakes, which have pork, carrot and mushroom inside them. And then pasties, which are pastry with some sort of meat and veggie mixture. And then we're going to try some of the dried meat that we've seen a few times. We haven't actually tried it yet, so it's a bit of an experiment. And of course, dessert also comes in a bag. This one is a banana and tapioca pudding. Should be a fun last meal in Laos. We're just leaving Atapu on our way to the border. Border runs are always a bit interesting. We've got all the documents we need. We've got the visas. It doesn't necessarily mean things will go well. We've been refused entry before, so fingers crossed it's alright. First stop though, at the market to find some noodle soups for breakfast.
Has no patience, look at his face and in his eyes. He's been way bound to the die. Always taking chances, all those conversations. Don't know if I'll make it, don't know why he even tries. Say, oh, I am a believer. Oh, don't know how I'll be if I'm not free to take a lead. Oh, I am a believer. Oh, ground beneath my feet, but I don't flee cause I believe. I'll stay down to the ground. Stay down to the ground. Stay down to the ground, 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 ground. Stay down to the dancing, oh, dancing.
Well, we were anticipating a reasonably easy ride to the border.
Hasn't quite been that way. There's been a whole bunch of slips with all the heavy rain, and there's been probably 4 or 5 patches where trucks either can't get through or are being pushed through by some heavy machinery. So the bikes have been about half a foot deep in mud quite regularly. We're about 5 k's from the border, and there is a truck absolutely stuck.
Yeah, it's got a military vehicle trying to tow it out. We're in the front now of a queue of about, I don't know, 20 long trucks. If we try to get to Da Nang, we've got a long day ahead of us. I'm not sure how far through Vietnam we'll make it, but at least the weather's cleared up.
Yeah, good news is the rain stopped about 10 minutes ago and it's now bright sunshine, so it's quite lovely. And the scenery has been spectacular.
Say, oh, I am a believer. Oh, don't know where I'll be if I'm not free to take a lead. Oh, I am a believer.
The military truck didn't work. We're now on to plan B.
Yeah, so that's a pretty large digger they've just delivered. It's going to go up and presumably help push the stuck truck through.
Hopefully we'll get out of here at some stage today.
I don't flee 'cause I believe. I'll stay down to the ground. Stay down to the ground. Stay down to the ground. Ground, 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 ground. Stay down to the dancing, oh, 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 dancing, stay down to the dancing, dancing, dancing.
We very successfully left Laos, and we have now been at the Vietnam border for a long time. I'm hoping there's no problems with our air visas, but we've crossed no man's land. Should be on our way shortly.
We've just arrived at Dak Glen after about 3.5 hours of riding and 3.5 hours of delay. We've sort of cut it away for the day. It was getting really wet, we kept getting stopped, the border took forever. It took about an hour and a half at the border, not because there was a queue, we were the only ones in the queue, but there was some problems with our passport that took them a while to sort out. We got through in the end, and the bikes had no troubles getting there, but it got really wet and really cold, and we'd had enough. So we've stopped for the day at Dak Glen. We're still about 4 hours from our destination of Da Nang.
Early start for us this morning, so a pretty good indication we want to get to Da Nang. So we're in Dak Glen. I've just ordered a bun roux cua, which is one of my absolute favourite Vietnam noodle soups. And we're going to get the bike serviced and then hopefully head straight to Da Nang. It's a really nice ride.
After 3 challenging days of riding from Don Det in the southern part of Laos and the 4,000 Islands, across past the Vietnam border into Da Nang, we finally arrived. The weather is absolutely gorgeous, it's 35 degrees every day, and we're going to spend heaps of time in the sun and in the water. We thought we should actually tell you what happened at the border crossing. I know we've mentioned it a few times. So far, from Vietnam to other countries, the border crossings have been somewhat interesting, although generally pretty fast and pretty successful. We have got rejected from the border before, but luckily they were super pleasant and just told us where to go to cross with our motorbikes.
Yeah, we ended up stuck in the immigration area for about an hour, and they just kept looking at our passports and looking at our visas and getting all stressed out about it, not talking to us.
At one stage there was 4 immigration officers staring at our passports, staring at a computer screen and all pointing at each other and at the screen. We had no idea what was going on. We were the only ones in the whole building. It was a little bit scary. We were wondering what was going to happen.
And all of a sudden they just gave us a smile and let us through. It looked like they were stressed out about the number of visas we've had and the fact that all the stickers were on different pages in the passport and they were having trouble putting it all together.
Luckily, in the end, they were happy, they let us through, and off we went into the pouring rain of the Vietnam mountains. Our plan for the next 2.5 weeks is to spend time in the sun, time relaxing, catching up on our blog, and just generally having a slower pace of life. We've got to sell our bikes, get those sort of things sorted, do a bit of research, and then we're off to Sri Lanka, and we couldn't be more excited.